Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Katie Delaney and this is our Daily Tarot. The first card that we have for today is the Fool card. Now, consider if there has been any aha moments that you've had this year that have given you some sort of inspiration that came from what has seemed to be or appeared to be some higher source or some higher power or even some higher knowing aspect of yourself, like a higher aspect knowing of yourself. A aha moment. We are getting this vision today. This card and the energy of this card is ruled by Uranus, which is big changes and big shifts, but shifts that come out of necessity. And we've been experiencing these shifts in areas that we've been considering as stable and that we've built up as stability in our lives. And because Uranus sits in every sign for around 7 years, we've been experiencing this for a few years now, and so we've been experiencing these big changes. And those changes have brought things to the surface. They've leveled some things up and given us inspirations as to where we really feel drawn to and feel really inspired to move toward. And that's the energy of this card, of the Fool. And what's key to consider in this card is that the Fool is not looking down, right? He's not considering like what things could be in his way as he's moving forward towards this thing. He's just inspired by it, and there's this sense of I have to move towards this thing, and I don't totally know why, but I have to do it. And we're getting a sense of that today and working with that. Those are the energies that we'll be working with for quite some time as Uranus sits in that area of our chart. The second card that we have for today is the Strength card. The Strength card is ruled by Leo, which is governed by the sun. And this is a card that is, reminding us that as we cross the precipice, right, as we go into uncharted territory, we have to remember our aim, and we have to keep our sight on that as we cross the bridges in life. And to not look down and to not be discouraged by the different variables that are always shifting around us. And if you consider the figures in this card, you could see them as either just having crossed this bridge or preparing to cross the bridge. And the message behind this card is, as you move forward, toward this dream and this inspiration, to not let your desire nature get the best of you, to not let your anger or intense emotions to get the best of you, right? As you're crossing the bridge and you're halfway across the bridge, are you going to throw a fit because you're stuck on a bridge? Are you going to get angry and shake your fist at the sky because you're crossing the bridge? Or are you going to remember that you are inspired to cross this bridge and that there is something on this other side that you are looking forward to realizing? And knowing that can help carry you across the bridge and help to take control of your own desire nature that could actually discourage you and dissuade you from moving toward that goal. Now, the third card that we have for today is the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is like pure fire energy. It's, new beginnings. It's conception, like conception of a child, conception of a new idea, conception of inspiration toward a new project or new venture. It's that growth, that motivating energy that gets us to move forward. And that's what we are, moving toward, is this new experience and this new beginning. And to keep in mind that, as we move forward and we cross this bridge, that what's on the other side may not be everything that we expected or anticipated. It is likely to be so much more than that. And the idea to cross the bridge was just an instigator or an initiator, something that inspired us to move. And a lot of us are experiencing that this year as things that have been stable in our lives, whether it's, the stability of being able to go to the grocery store or go to the coffee shop or go to school or, share time with friends in the backyard. All those things have shifted. And because all those things have shifted, it's put things in perspective, and a lot of people are making changes and shifts toward things that they've always felt called to, but for some reason felt so anchored in whatever they've been doing that it prevented them from making steps toward it. And so I encourage you to consider that what's on the other side of the bridge is greater than just whatever is on the other side of the bridge. It's also, those moments that we have to face in ourselves, and how we choose to respond to situations, and how we choose to respond to even ourselves, and how we nurture ourselves in those moments. And do we have the ability to ask for help, and not just asking for help from individuals and outside sources, but asking for help from higher energies, from asking for help from our own future self to guide us, asking for help from our angels and our guides. I've gotten a lot of grace in a lot of moments where my footsteps felt quite shaky, and in asking for help and asking for guidance in where to place my feet, I was absolutely given the ability to anchor my feet and to feel centered on my path as I move forward, and to remember that you're not alone on that bridge, even if you feel alone, and even if you don't see any single body around you. You're never alone. And I think it's important to remind people of that, because in social media, I've recently been part of this spiritual awakening group, and I see a large percentage of people that are going through a lot of suffering, and I'm not trying to discount it by any means when I say a lot of our suffering is self-inflicted. I'm not trying to discount our suffering in any way when I say a lot of our suffering is self-inflicted. What I am asking people to do is to realize that there are always energies around you that are here to help you and guide you. And part of our grace in life is having this voice that can speak out and ask for help, and sometimes even from our future self. So I send you a great big hug and a good wish today, and I am in a big transition right now myself, which is why some of my content hasn't been super regular, but I hope for that to kind of level out here in the next couple weeks as I get regrounded from things that are really shifting right now in my life. But aside from that, in my own personal world, I wish you a great big hug and so much love, and I will see you again soon. Bye.